No, makes yeah. All right, we're live. It's Patron Hangout time. 2 in 2 weeks. How about that? For those of you unfamiliar, this is the time of the month where we spend a little bit of time with our patrons. Those people who are nice enough to open their wallets out to us, we open up our minds. And sometimes a little too much, as we were discussing just before the show started. So if you are interested in joining, check us out at patreon.com/marriedwithclicks. But in the meantime, we're going to open up the floor to our lovely patrons who help support us, and we're going to support them with the answers to their questions, be them ridiculous or not. And first in the room was Drew. So, Drew, floor is yours, sir.
Oh, you said lovely, so I assumed I wasn't in the running. All right. So, what's the most creative team that doesn't use Unimind, you would think? Or let me change it. What is one of the most original teams you can think of if Unimind was not poisoning the meta as it stands?
Well, I can definitely remember Kenny Pena's team that was in the top 8. It's been the talk of the town for a little bit. His team had Mistress Death and Mjolnir on it, along with the Loki, the common Loki. He spent the extra 10 points for the illusions. And then what he did is he had a round table on the team as well, and he would switch that Loki with the super rare Black Panther, so that won't trigger the stop click, which is what actually takes the illusions off the board, you see? So now he's got a Black Panther for free that's bringing out Wakandan warriors. As well, he had, I believe, 2 Carnages and a Skyscraper Wonder Woman, along with, no, I think that was about it, wasn't it?
Raven.
A Raven.
I think he had the ring as well.
What's that?
Maybe the ring as well. The boxing ring.
Yeah, a boxing ring. All kinds of coolness going on there. There's so much awesome coming on with the team. And one of the tricks, of course, was Mistress Death gets an attack on whatever target. They're now death tokened. Then the Wakandan warriors are now dealing significantly more damage, along with whatever Carnages or Carnage tokens are doing damage. There's just so much damage potential and so many numbers coming out of it. The Lokis are able to incapacitate and just kind of hold things down with a double rollout on the shape change and super senses. If they roll a shape change, you got another Loki to deal with. It was a really cool team.
Plus, it got the 1 free extra action.
Yeah, from leadership.
Yeah. And you don't get to.
I called that.
And you don't have the risk of him picking the right Loki and killing all the others, right?
Yeah, exactly. That risk just doesn't exist
because he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
One of the other things with Kenny's team there was his map choice. Was that his top map choice was actually the Junkyard from Elseworlds, where he put the boxing ring in the middle to basically nullify the effect of the swamp or the junk pile that keeps you from using your improved movement. And but it also has this really interesting ring around the outside of the map. And I basically watched like the first match of the finals, the Rock Cup. I watched him box Scott Crampton in to the edge of the map because of where he was able to place his characters versus having the Unimind who was hanging back with the Nighthawk Prime. And he wasn't like it really limited where Scott was able to go or even call in characters, or when he broke away sidestep, there wasn't really anywhere he could go. So it was cool in the way that not only was his team really effective, but his team worked really well on the map that he chose to.
Mm-hmm. There's another team, PJ's team, which I guess he didn't put in the article yet, or he's going to put it in a later article. But I distinctly remember the sight of 4 Flora Colossals out there.
Yep.
And he also shared the story that one game he had one of his Flora Colossals at the 200-point line. And it's the argument of they're terrible retaliators. But if you can get those dice rolling, moving up and up and up and up, you spent 10 points on a potential 200-point character that is going to stick around, unlike an ID card where you spend 5 points to get a character out for a turn, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, what PJ was saying about that particular one was even one successful roll means you now have a 10-point character with a stop click.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll be rolling plenty, right? At least 4 times. So
Yeah.
you have the odds. Eventually,
What are
they'll
the
keep
bound to do
popping
it
up.
on turn 1 at least? That's when you're playing the pointing game. But his team did other things. I just didn't catch it. I was so busy in the rounds of Swiss, I didn't get a chance to look at it. I think, none of my games didn't go to time. All of my games went to time, and that's kind of the thing is my team didn't really die as much as so much, and the what's it called? Unimind also doesn't have a habit of dying either. So since neither team died, it came down to points at the end. I died in one game. And that was against Daniel Joyce. Totally forgot about that. Where it was the difference of I pulse wave and kill all the things from his Unimind, or I lose. Guess what happened?
I was beside you, literally, at that game.
Yeah, it was like I was sitting there like, okay, so I'm gonna roll a pulse wave. I need a 7 to hit all your guys in. Well, that's a 5. All right. Well, and then I looked at that. And I said, well, you're gonna call in. All right. Well, here we go.
Just you saw the recognition of just in the arms of an angel playing while the slow tear fell.
Yeah. That game was ridiculous. My dice were hot for the first half of the game, and Daniel hit a critical hit with his Frost Giant on a Colossal Retaliation at one point. It was a bloody nightmare.
So what we're learning is he used the crit hit to beat you.
The crit hit was a big factor because it was 4 damage to my call-in Green Arrow, the 4 damage to my Al Jordan, which, with an Al Jordan, you got 1 left to go. 1 damage to my Devil Dinosaur because Devil Dinosaur. But the Al Jordan was an important element of my team at the time. I think I've let him go, and I've moved on to another direction on my build.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, I took PJ's advice and started looking into Gertrude, New York, and changing some things on my ID card selection and getting the numbers out there. So let's get some Flurry Blades going, guys.
I can never be mad at Gertrude Yorks.
Exactly. You're never allowed to be mad at Gertrude, New York.
I'm so glad the piece is as amazing as it is.
It is. It's really cool. I like the idea of a nigh unkillable Pog, a really hard to kill Pog. It's not unkillable, but my goodness, do you have to put work into it?
Do they have the monster keyword?
Animal. Yeah. Unlike Magic the Gathering, there is not yet a dinosaur keyword.
Soon.
It's opportunity. There is another Devil Dinosaur coming out in that Avengers Infinity set, so who knows?
Sweet.
So, we'll see how that goes.
He won't be the smart Devil Dinosaur, though.
No. It will
It better be Moon Girl related.
What's that?
Said it better be Moon Girl related.
Well, it was listed as Devil, like they alluded to Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl in the solicit, so
It will maybe?
Girl related.
I'll allow that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Did you have a team other than Kenny's? No?
Nope. Pretty much all I saw were Uniminds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that's all I saw for Swiss, that's for sure.
It's almost like this character is unhealthy.
That wasn't... I mean, we did get to see... Paris was playing a Goblin King Al Jordan team. And we did also get to see a Sam Cap team with Dr. Octopus that managed to unfortunately fail all 4 of the flurry attacks and then die swiftly afterwards. But other than that, like, pretty much everything we saw beyond those, like, I think there was only 4 teams that I saw all throughout the entire finals that were not a Unimind team.
Yeah.
And I wasn't out in the tournament to see something else. So
well, we had people running the numbers for us, and like we said, there was 19 of the top 32 that were playing it, and then it was The top 16 was 9 of the 16, I believe we said.
Yeah.
Which was amazing that 10 of them got knocked out, but then 10 of them
probably
very
got
well
knocked
been
out
playing
by
by
the
another
9
one.
of the
Right?
other Unimind.
Yeah.
And then in the top 8 there was 6 left, and then in the top 4 it was all Unimind and Nighthawk Prime.
It's almost like there's a superior piece in the meta right now that shouldn't exist as much as it does.
I think right now it could be, but it might not be. We still need another major tournament to define it. But like sometimes this happens in Magic as well, where a Pro Tour occurs or a major Grand Prix, and one deck dominates. But then the next month they haven't touched anything in the game yet, and then the next month there's another Grand Prix, and then that deck gets stomped out by another one. So, I mean, now we have the problem with that kind of thinking immediately right now is that right now we're at the state where we also got to think that there's like 1/10 maybe of the amount of options to use in HeroClix that Magic the Gathering has for complexity and spreading itself out sake. So there may just not be that option right now, but I think we need to find out how the WKOs turn out. And if I put this out there to the world, I'm going to say it again on Metafix. If you guys can get information to us, I don't need top 16s or top 8s detailed. I just need winners, or even top 4s if you can, or just a quick glance. If anybody can give me a quick glance at how many Uniminds are being played at your tournaments, and then your winner, and that might help me define certain things. But there's factors in between what's there versus who won that could go a long way as well. So anyway, it's that's its own thing as well. So it's dominant now. Give it till after the WKO so we can know for sure. And then, I mean, right now people are practicing against it. It's a thing. And I'm hoping that enough people are practicing with Kenny's build that all of a sudden that starts to show up and Mistress Death's value goes up, because I'm actually sitting on a second one of those. I'm also going to sit on my second Colossus for when that ID card becomes super hot, right?
Yes. The Deadpool super rare one?
So we started with, Kenny's team was cool. And we're hoping to see more stuff like that show up. It's very noted that being able to out-action the thing is step 1. Step 2 is making sure that that number of actions actually does something. Because I was able to step 1 every single Unimind I played against. I was not able to step 2. I make 6 or 7 attacks and okay. Next turn I make another 6, 7 attacks. Okay, so you're gonna D-token now and kill me, right? All right. So there's only so much you can do when things aren't happening. And I've become patient with just missing lately. Again, I've become complacent. I've been reminded that I am capable of missing dice rolls, and I put Mephisto back on my team.
Nice. Yeah, you won't be needing that defense with Nighthawk and double +2 perplexes, right? Might as well make the best use for yourself.
I mean, ultimately, their plugs are supposed to die, right?
Yep. We're not giving points.
Exactly. All right. So now we can move on to Pedro's question.
I have a similar one, but more generic. Don't need much detail, really. Just a glance. But similar to what Drew was saying. What do you think if Unimind, and it's like Unimind related, but not really. If Unimind weren't there, what do you think would be the style that would be prevalent now? Would be Pogs? I see a big tendency, or was seeing a big tendency toward Pogs and the teleporter before Unimind, did what he did. So do you think that would be the trend, more or less?
I definitely agree that build a team it would be a thing more often. It still is a thing, and it is a thing that can beat Unimind in spite of itself sometimes. But I think it would still have to compete with Jakeem Thunder, because that's if if it was there, you know, on or outcomes, you know, Jakeem's there. Pog teams can compete with Jakeem, but not be guaranteed. And Jakeem does have a lot of his own tools to deal with them. And Unimind just adds that so hard to kill factor. It's so hard to kill. Those, like, everybody looks at him and says, "Well, it's just 5 clicks." It's not just 5 clicks. I'm sorry. It's 5 clicks.
Like 5 clicks with 2 stop.
It's 5 clicks with 1 stop click, but the ability to choose Invincible constantly. If you have the Nighthawk Prime on your side anyway, you're not getting any bonuses to your damage. If you choose Invincible, the most you're going to be able to take is 3, regardless of who's dealing it, right?
If you ever get to do enough to do 3 to Invincible.
Yeah. Like, even Nick Fury, because I'm playing a Nighthawk Prime alongside my Unimind, your bonuses aren't going to matter. It's still just going to be 3 penetrating damage if you say I can't use Invincible, and then I choose some other defense power to stop it. One of the best, like the most consistent ways to deal with it has been do a bunch of damage with Green Arrow and then try to follow up with more and more damage. But getting the hits after the fact is really the hard part. Or you could try to get the hits first and then Green Arrow him, but that's another thing you're gonna have to try to do. These are all those things that factor into the Unimind. And so again, if Unimind wasn't, if Big Green wasn't there, the original Pink and Green would be around. But Pogs, I feel like Jakeem would have competition with what's out there, but I think he'd still be a dominant force. I don't know. What do you think, Amber?
I think, like, even though, like, and this could just be because the meta in our area is a little more varied than other places. But if we go back to our provincials and our Canada Cup was at the beginning of Unimind, but only like 2 of them showed up, 3. If we go back to there, like, Jakeem is powerful, was still really prevalent, but he wasn't on every single team, unlike Unimind, who has like an 80% like saturation on teams. So I think we would still see Jakeem as a top strategy. We would see Pogs as a top strategy. Something would come out with all of the weapons and colossal retaliations that we just got. I think that without him being as powerful as he is, or without him like even being in the game at all, we would see a lot more varied play. It wouldn't be this strategy is on every single team and it's going to win every single time. It's more of, hey, this strategy works, but so does this strategy and also this strategy. Oh, and there's this underdog strategy that won over here. Like, we almost saw a Hell Cow team win Canada or provincials this year.
Nice. But isn't it kind of a wrong kind of funny that it looks like, you know, Whiskey saying, you guys are really worried about Hakeem? Let me show you how powerful and aggressive something can be, so that now when you see Hakeem, you just say, well, it's a great piece, but, you know, I have good chances of facing him. I have, like you said perfectly, different strategy, more variety, because I think there were a lot of people. It's funny, and you guys were not one of them, but everybody's saying, it's only going to be Hakeem, the game's dead, it's only like this. Now, it's the same talk to Unimind, and we're seeing people that are changing their minds. And now with Hakeem, the game was more varied, blah, blah, blah. It is kind of Whiskey, not on purpose, of course, but looking to me and saying, you know, guys, it can get worse. So don't count your blessings, because we can do something that is more dominant.
Yeah. Well, I think I was one of the ones that was saying, if you don't see Jakeem Thunder across the board, it's probably going to be Unimind alongside a Nighthawk Prime.
You helped earlier, right? Just a little tip.
And I don't know if I put that idea in everybody's head. I hope not. Maybe it was that whole situation of sometimes you come to the right conclusion, and if everybody finds the right answer, it seems like everybody came up with the idea, but it was really just the right answer, and that's a situation where we might get what's called a solved meta, where, you know, this is what we have to deal with. Sorry, guys. So, and then in 9 months, less so now, actually 8 months, we lose Nighthawk Prime. So that's a big factor in it. But we also lose Nick Fury. We might also, it looks like we might lose all the ID cards with the exception of the X-Men one and the con exclusives.
Yeah, we will lose Green Arrow, right? Unless you're playing him on the board.
Yeah. So, I mean, Drew woos over there, but you forgot that I said X-Men and con exclusive ones. Cons tend to take a little longer.
But here's my differing opinion to that. I don't have a Colin that's 5 points for up to 4 penetrating damage with a no, you don't do this.
Did you not see what Forge does?
Yeah, we have to pray for not having an Forge ID card.
To be fair, the issue with Forge is that when you call him in, he's what, a 9 for 2 with his running shot, right? Baseline stats?
Yes.
Yeah.
The issue with Forge is that Unimind exists, and that just circles back to round 2. I don't have an issue with ID cards as long as they're not the end of the match.
But what'll end up happening with Unimind against the Forge is Forge will say you can't use any powers. Any powers.
No. I'm saying Unimind calling in a Forge turns them into an 11 for
11-4.
Yeah.
Because Forge has to, like, you have to get within that 10 square of Unimind, because Forge is what, 5 range? 6?
Yeah.
With a 5 movement. So, I mean, you could call him in and potentially get your shot off. But I refuse to believe you'll alpha strike a Unimind.
No, I don't think he will either, but it'll help everybody else strike him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Forge can bust stealth either, right? Because you can also work around that.
Yeah, he cannot.
No.
Yeah. But I don't think, do you guys think that they're going to do a Forge ID card that's not Colin Lee? I'm not into the game as long to have this view, but from what I recall, it's either Colin Lee with a Colin Lee card or the IDs are connected to the normal set, right? Or am I saying something crazy?
It's hard to say in that matter. There's a couple ID cards, if I remember correctly, in Avengers Assemble that weren't in Avengers Assemble, and in Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. there's a couple Collins that weren't in that set at all. I think there was a Black Panther and
Jewel.
There's
the DC ones seem to just really be like, when was the last time we had, what was it, Swamp Thing?
Swamp Thing's a con. Like I kind of go away from the cons because they're the exception to the rule because they don't have a set tied to them per se.
And they last longer. So it's like, all right, well, we've got a couple of years before
we eventually catch it up, right? And never did.
What's that?
We eventually catch up with, if you don't get in this set, it's going to last longer, so we have a set for you. But I don't think Swamp Thing saw it.
No, Swamp Thing's got months left, 8 months left. We don't have a Swamp Thing still. It would be interesting to see if Swamp Thing gets an ID card and gets to last for like a week. I'd laugh.
Here you had it.
It's going to come out. Swamp Thing's going to be like the 25-point, 13 attack, 6 damage pulse wave.
Yeah, which kills itself, but whatever. I only gave up 25 points for it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like how I felt with the Captain Britain Iron Man, who came out a week after the Captain Britain expired or retired.
Yeah, so it's like you can't replace it with a guy. Well, I mean, but we also have an X-Men set around the corner, so we're not on a lost cause yet.
I don't foresee getting another Captain Britain for a while.
First class, I wouldn't. I would give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
To their defense, the op kit Captain Britain was absolutely phenomenal in my opinion.
He was fantastic.
That's the one you turned into the lady one, right?
Yeah, and that was the one that retired a week before Captain Britain Iron Man came out.
Yeah.
Because the only other one before that was Wolverine and the X-Men, which was long retired before any of that stuff came out. But I don't know. They for the ID cards, it doesn't really seem like they correlate as much with what characters are in the set.
Yeah. I
think wasn't even there were some that showed up for were there ID cards in Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were figures that had ID cards in Age of Ultron that weren't in Age of Ultron.
Well, that weren't pullable in Age of Ultron, I think. I might, you know what? I might be calling Black Panther Nick Fury one, and he might have actually been a
Age of Ultron
one. But then you wouldn't have been able to get him until the last month, right?
Yeah.
Or
there's that. There's Red Hulk that didn't have anything in Nick Fury.
I think Deadpool had been out for a period of time though, and was legal alongside Nick Fury for that, along with the Avengers versus X-Men set.
For the Red Hulk?
Yeah, for Red Hulk. We had I remember us having Red Hulk call-ins for that for a minute and a half at least, Again,
Yeah.
it's a situation like I'm
But-
making a joke about the Swamp Thing ID. A week before it retires, boom, there's going to be our Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
OP Kit one last week.
But then Swamp Thing is, if I remember correctly, he's also an OP kit one or a con exclusive one, which gives it a little bit more longevity, I think. It's going to get an extra year. So.
Yeah, because unless they're gonna have another Forge, I don't know. Just from maybe it's me crazy expecting good, sensible things from WizKids, but jokes aside, having an ID card for a prize figure only, I think it's kind of very limiting, especially if this prize figure has something that is quite powerful. I don't know, you understand what I mean? Otherwise, you're gonna have 5 or 10 people that will have whatever 20 exact number that will have it, and that could unbalance the whole thing. I understand primes, I understand chase, but they might be hard to get, but they're accessible. The prize ones, it's a different secondary market, very hard to get kind of thing, not to natural means. I don't know if I'm going crazy here, but
No, you're okay.
And a prime example of that, well, I mean, an example of where we got a ID card that came only as part of a prize would have been Sentry, but then that's a con ID that only had a prize figure, right? So I'm just kind of looking through Avengers Assembled to see what kind of nonsense they might have missed in their own set. They didn't make a Mockingbird in that set.
In all honesty, I would not at all put it past them to have a Forge ID just to be like, oh, hey, you guys should have gone to our WKOs.
Yeah. Should have got top 200.
Exactly.
Because that's the thing. You got to place at least in the top 2 to get Forge, if I remember correctly. Top 8 in order to get, like, I think it's just Bishop or the Black King. So it goes like top 8 get 1 of them. Top 4 get 2 of them. Top 2 get 3 of them. And the winner gets all 4 of them. So, like, the Shadow Cat's only going through the winner. I remember that.
And I like that Shadow Cat.
She's neato. I do enjoy her. For 75 points, she's definitely falls into the neato category, that's for sure.
Well, for a phasing teleport charge, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Bishop's got a shorter range one. Like, I looked at Bishop, I said, is this going to be another cable? Oh, a range combat only. So then Shadowcat's going to be something similar with Blades, isn't it? And I mean, she was, once I knew once I knew what that Shadowcat looked like, she became predictable to a degree. But
so it's time to prepare the Claw. It's just for fun. I never made the point. Claw, both of them, like you said, Cable and the Merc, Deadpool, go to WizKid's office and just do a Banff over the walls kind of team. Right? Phase over the wall, shoot, come back, and don't get caught kind of team.
Never gonna catch me.
Now you're thinking with meta.
Well, require a lot of finesse and very good dice, but if you pull it off, a lot of swag.
Very good dice. and hopefully a very ignorant opponent. Okay, so I'm going to move here. What do you mean you can go through walls? What do you mean you can go through hindering? What do you mean you can go through characters?
I'm going to move here. All right. Remember how you didn't want to read my cards before the match began? Yeah?
Yep.
You're going to regret it.
Yep, exactly.
You can read it now. I'm going to move 5. Wait, what?
Blow! Aww.
And that started as a question about what would dominate. Oh God, I'm so tired.
Yeah,
of talking
what would be the second tier once Unimind? Not second tier, but what would be the non-Unimind teams that we see generally?
Yeah, I feel like it would open things up, but I don't think it would open them up that much. I think Jakeem would still. Jakeem would come back.
Yeah.
All right. There was a question in here. It looks like Nathaniel got it though, and it was regarding those Star Trek things. Yeah, they only play by themselves.
I thought they were going to be modern legal.
They are modern.
Okay,
there will be a set, right?
The ships, yeah.
Yeah, the ships will be a thing on their own that is a separate
okay.
HeroClix rules.
They are HeroClix, but they're not our HeroClix.
Yeah.
They're their Hero.
Yeah.
But the figures themselves of the characters, they will be modern age, and whether or not they'll compare power-wise to the rest of the game, who knows?
You know what? I think what's going to happen, because it's a full set, we'll get a figure. a figure or 2 or 3 that will just be like, that does something that when included with something else is going to be on a level of power it does not deserve to be on. And I'm going to say the word Spock outwits your everything. Wait, what?
We don't have powers.
No man. It's you look him in the eye and you go, "Mama said Spock you out."
It will be balanced for the set for sealed, and then it's gonna be, like you said, crazy abused when paired with something else outside the set.
Yeah. It'll be like Bones, who's got support that adds 6 to the dice. Wait, what?
It's a double power token because he's yapping, but then everybody on the board that you choose, he'll stop click. That's it.
It'll be defensive probability control and really good support.
Yeah, just if you use a support on a friendly character, as long as there's no enemy within 3 squares, he just
And the
hits.
probability control will be called, damn it, Jim, I'm not a...
It's not even... It won't even be probability control. It'll just be a straight up reroll.
Makes you too.
Reroll a dice roll. Why? Damn it, Jim!
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor.
But I am looking forward to the idea of trying to build a Klingon theme team, that's for sure. I've heard ideas of tribbles and how they should be able to just get out of hand. If that's the case, I can imagine myself and Amber trying to acquire tribbles will be our new command line.
I would love if tribbles would just multiply. Like you roll a die. Oh, I have another tribble. Beginning of your turn, roll a die. 4 to 6, spawn a tribble.
Plus 2 defense.
The mechanics are very friendly to do it, right? I mean, the game that has the mechanic to incorporate it easily.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's something they could definitely do.
It's not an unfamiliar mechanic. It's something you've done in the past. And goodness gracious, would we be opening up packs to get them?
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, WizKids, where did all the Star Trek go?
There's tribbles in this pack. Is there anything else? Just tribbles.
Doesn't matter.
Tribbles. Throw the rest. Exactly.
It won't even be the God pack anymore. It'll be like, oh my god, guys, I got the tribble pack.
Yeah, because they like common, uncommon, rare, super rare.
Oh, that would be awesome if they do a full rarity set on them. Can you imagine? That would be cool.
Or something akin to the triplicate girl pack that you could get in Slosh.
Yeah.
Where you got 3 triplicate girls in the pack.
Well, it's like I think I was telling someone else, I was like, yeah, I want the tribbles to have a win condition. If they cover half the board, you win.
Makes sense.
Nice.
It's either that, or if each tribble, or if each enemy character is adjacent to X amount of triples.
So I want to have the tribbles be they all have the same base stat line. And the common is 1 tribble. The uncommon is 2 with 1 more click. The rare is 3 with 1 more click.
This is the Mouser and the Mouser Swarm all over again.
Yeah. The super rare, 11 clicks.
And it's just a pile of tribbles.
Every defense power is a stop click. This cannot be turned off by any means.
This man knows right here.
Protected can't use.
Protected damage.
Protected
Anything.
No, that's the trade. It's too cute and cuddly. Protected damage.
Or protected KO, even better. Protected KO. Period.
No, it's just a ha Joker.
If you will only be scored if it's the last figure on your board.
Exactly.
Play an entire team of tribbles.
They multiply every round. True. Easy.
When they roll region, you get to put that many tribbles out on last click.
For everyone you heal, every 1 point you heal.
For everyone complaining about Unimind right now, imagine the triple problem we could run into. There's a shortage of plastic in the world late in 2018.
And you can have an OP Colossal Weebo afterwards.
Everybody was looking for these tribbles.
Tribbles, Colossal Retaliation. If you have 7 tribbles on the field, give them a free action. Put all of them adjacent to 1 character. Link to exploit weakness as a free action. Tribble's gonna fuck them up.
You know what? Though the Colossal Retaliation will do no damage. It will just give action tokens.
Oh my god.
If it's a crit hit,
image of all the
they take,
triples
2
falling
pushing.
on somebody.
And they all have plasticity.
Ooh, yeah. Any pushing damage done by the tribbles is increased by 1.
Or just give them poison instead of giving plasticity. Give them the Despotelli effect that the guy just moved with him.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Stays
Yeah.
alone.
And call that trait Tribble in the pocket.
Exactly.
Pocket sand. What?
All right. A question just showed up in the Discord. We'll jump on that one. Tiger Alchemist. We know that the Colossus ID card is coming from the WKO. What ID cards are you hoping to see from the X-Men First Class? What are we going to get? The standards: Wolverine, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, Shadowcat, Bishop. I'm spitballing. So Amber, throw out any more. Give me. You know what? I want a multiple man just to know that there's a multiple man coming.
I want something obscure. Like, just something completely obscure.
Beak.
Actually, that's exactly who I was thinking of.
Sugar Man.
Sugar Man. He wasn't even a good guy, was he? Oh.
I don't.
Oh, Magneto ID card. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I was holding him here while we were talking. Can you imagine? You're not even gonna be mad about bringing this guy in just for fun.
Like,
Oh my
honestly,
God.
there would be riots. There would be legitimate riots if we don't get a Magneto ID card.
Yeah.
No, there would be riots if we did get one just to acquire one. That ID card would be the new Adam ID card with like $100 face value right on his face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how
And then-
common it would be.
I like how immediately after that happened, just no one used Adam anymore.
Yep.
Well, nobody could afford to use Adam anymore. I was using him.
We also,
Yeah, but you used him main board.
Well, I used one on main board, one on sideline because at the time it was
because we had two of
$100.
them.
At the time it was $100. We had 2 Adams. I had one on the ID card, which I managed to trade prior to his price jump on a Quinjet team. I kind of copied Patrick's team. Not gonna lie.
Oh, not a bad move.
What other X-Men ID cards would be cool?
I want Beak's son, so we get one that's useful.
Beak's son.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get a Storm one for sure.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we'll
guessing.
definitely get a Storm one.
Quicksilver, maybe.
I'm gonna go 50-50 on that one. He was a bit of a dick
Yeah.
when it came to House of M.
Wouldn't mind a Juggernaut one, just to play a Juggernaut because
I mean,
Juggernaut.
he's an X-Man. I buy it.
We'll likely get Beast. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
We better
because
get
of the
Beast.
That would be Beast.
mainstay X-Men.
Dude, can you imagine the 100-point Beast for the 7.5 minutes is going to be legal at the same time as that ID card?
I want to see there being a Jubilee ID card just to watch someone's face when they open a pack and be like, got a Jubilee card.
Yeah, like
And
I
then-
got a Bizarro Aquaman.
And they'll even pack it with the character just to be nice. Every
Exactly.
ID card will
Always come together, so you can
No.
use them.
But it's like the good Jubilee.
See that face?
I'm waiting for Drew to describe the good Jubilee.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for
The one that
here.
calls in Wolverines, obviously.
Get a free call in from Wolverine.
Yeah, she's got a stop click, and it's called Logan's always nearby when I need him.
So that's one of those things. So they mentioned that they're not going to use real names anymore, but they are intended on putting like aliases on ID cards. So like when you have a Phoenix ID card,
Yeah.
Jean Grey and Miss Marvel or Marvel Girl can use it. I want a Wolverine card that Wolverine, Laura, and Dakin can use.
I want a Wolverine card that Wolverine, Logan, Patches, Colonel Logan,
X23.
Weapon X.
James Hallett. Hey.
Wild Patrick has appeared.
Possibly.
Maybe.
We're not sure.
It's a possibility. Who knows?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we probably won't see Dakin again, like, ever, unless he really becomes more prominent in the comics, because he just recently showed back up again.
I mean, he was part of the what is it? The Death of X series.
Yeah. And they did that. Oh god, I really hope they don't, like, we could end up having an entire, like, so, you know, we had like a common, uncommon, rare, super rare slot for like Superman and Batman. We could have a like a full rarity slot just based on the different Wolverines. We could have James Hallett, we could have Jimmy Hallett, we could have Old Man Logan, we could have Laura, we could have Dakin, and they're all named Wolverine.
I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like the chases just need to be Wolverine from different points in time.
That wouldn't be bad.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at that like that. Even though that's already been made, just make it a chase set just to be a jerk.
Oh, has it already been made?
Oh, dude, across the ages of HeroClix, like from set 1 to now, I think just about every single year of Wolverine has been made in some way, shape, or form. Right down to when he had a cowboy hat and a cigar.
We got Pirate Wolverine.
We got Pirate Wolverine.
Vampire.
No, he wasn't a pirate. It was when they took out his adamantium and he went savage and he wore his
the stupid bandana.
Cowl like
the
a
bandana.
Yeah. He looks like a freaking pirate.
They got patches. We've got, because that was a period of time. We got the Weapon X twice at least. Once as a unique in a set, and once, dude, there's like 3 versions. There's the one that comes in the canister.
Honestly,
there's the one that,
Weapon X's.
Did they do the
we've got blue and white, blue and yellow suit Wolverine. We've got
we have
House of M Wolverine,
Agent of Hydra.
Agent of Hydra Wolverine.
Exiles.
Then I think what might be interesting is if they go for another like Age of Apocalypse, and do a couple of the other. Oh no! I take it back. Did y'all read the comics when the students got trapped in the future or whatever?
That's not ringing any bells.
It was like I think Anil, Blob, the chick who's just a brain.
Okay, I know the characters you're talking about.
Yeah, they got stuck in the future with Colossus as their teacher.
Okay.
And this was one where the 4 Horsemen were basically still around. Like, it was the 4 Horsemen were like Deadpool, Iceman, something and something. I think Blob might have been one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they basically got Peter, Colossus, made him into one, and then the students had to like survive. So when they came for the rescue mission, it was like time had went wonky because X-Men were involved. So obviously time travel's a thing. And all of the students had like grown into these, extremely capable adults.
Oh, I don't know if they rehashed that story, or because there was one that they did with Wolverine and the X-Men where Kid Apocalypse and Edie and Brew and that class that have not been Clix yet, they all got stuck, and they showed or it's just like a fast forward to the future, and they're like psycho ridiculous versions of themselves.
Yeah. Also, I want a Brew now that you've mentioned him. I want one.
Oh my gosh, when they came out with a set called Wolverine and the X-Men,
I was screaming
so
for Brew
that we got none of those students.
Yeah, I was screaming for Brew. I wanted Dupe in that set. Lazy student or teacher Dupe in that set. Got nothing. Nothing.
But no. But the Dupe needs to have the best prob and stuff like that. Like, he gets to make attacks only if he can't be seen by things.
Absolutely.
Like, we could have Edie. We could have Kid Apocalypse, Kid Gladiator, Brew.
We could get an Angel that's super strong.
Super amnesiac Healy Angel.
Yeah.
Because apparently he's a real angel now and can bring things back to life.
Yeah.
He just can't bring back his relevance.
Well, that's why they kind of just left him alone and went over to the time-displaced angel who now has fire wings.
Yeah.
Because Black Vortex.
I'm also enjoying the other new students. Like iBoy, the guy who when he touches, he gets to absorb everyone's past their life.
Yes.
Tree Girl, whose name I can't remember.
Wasn't there also Shark Girl?
I don't think so. They have the one that looks like chalk.
There's I can't remember if it was All New X-Men or Wolverine and the X-Men where they introduced her. They have Shark Girl, who her head she turns into a shark. That's her mutation. The top of her body turns into a shark.
I read a comic book about people who are shaped like animals anyway, so I don't have much say in the matter. All right, we're back around to Drew now because that was a long answer about X-Men ID cards.
I mean, if Pedro wants to take a second question, I'll let him.
No, I think I have many others, but they're in a different direction. So it's.
Oh, please take us in a different direction. As long as the direction isn't towards Unimind again, I'm content.
No, nothing Unimind.
So
related.
about Unimind.
Before I take you there,
how big a patron is Drew right now?
do I need to upgrade? We'll talk.
You know what? That's what we're gonna start doing. Is like $20 patron. This is the only level you're allowed to ask questions about Unimind anymore.
Exactly, the Unimind patronage. Let me try something. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second.
Well, in that case, what do y'all think is going to be in Turtle Set 4? Or if I've been grossly misinformed?
Back in the sewers. Better damn well be in there. I'm sick and tired of that stuff not being in anything yet. It was a great series. Lasted 6 seasons. It was fantastic. It was a little darker than most. It was like that first taste of the comic book style Turtles that we got from anything. The IDW is not the IDW. The Nicktoons has taken more inspiration from the comics than the 80s cartoon did. That's for sure. But of course they nicked it up. So the back in the sewers version would be a pretty neat take on the Turtles to see. I want to continue to see competitive stuff come out of it, to be brutally honest. I want to see Karai's new friends. In the IDW comic, she's got a friend, or like she's got partners.
The Eagle and the Hammerhead, right?
An Eagle, a Hammerhead, and now an Armadillo.
Ooh, I'm all about armadillos.
This is a brand new development in the Ninja Turtles universe comic. Or some of from the IDW comics, some of the neutrinos would be pretty cool. Or their version of the Utroms, their version of General Krang, who's a little bit more evil general, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, I really want to see some Hobbs and the Mutanimals. I want to see them.
Yeah. I want to see Pigeon Pete. That would be totally gnarly.
Perplex, but he has the Gleek trait. Like he gives Perplex to the opponents too.
Yeah. Or so something to the effect of on a 4, 5, or 6, he does nothing.
Yeah.
But just make him. I want him to be one of those things where it's like he's going to be half the points he deserves to be, but he's twice as good as those points. Say, but on like a certain dice roll, you can't use them, or your opponent gets to use them for a turn or something ridiculous.
If he's adjacent to a friendly character, roll a d6 on a 1 through 3. Your opponent gets to immediately mind control the character he's next to, or something like that.
Yeah, or make an attack with Pigeon Pete on that character with -1 damage or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, but like he gets perplexed and he gives them improved movement or either improved movement or improved targeting green if he's next to a character.
Yeah.
Make him a tiny or something.
I wouldn't mind and this is the thing, it's like sometimes there's a little bit of overlap from things, so seeing repeats of characters, but the Leatherhead from the IDW comic is just so much stronger in representation than any other version that's been shown.
Dude.
Like he spoiler alert for the most recent issue of the IDW comic, he just ate Krang.
Yeah, I'm glad I read that now.
Like, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She's just like,
justice has not been served. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The outcome was not the way he wanted it. He's fixing that.
I'm just actually looking up because I believe the characters that they're describing on the solicit, are from the 87 series. General Trag is one that's already mentioned in the solicit, and there's another figure there. So one of these lame rock dudes, and it's the General Trag and Lieutenant Granitor.
Who?
Did you watch the 87 series?
Nope. I wasn't born.
What's that?
I was not born.
Well, I mean, it's on DVD all over the place, and there's a couple rock people showing up. So those, I guarantee, those will be the same model, just different colors.
Bedovian?
What's that?
Is it Bedovian? Venuvian?
Basically, that kind of idea. Yeah.
Did that rock just blink? No.
So, what else? What else?
I think Hacker would be really cool to see.
Hacker would be
The
cool.
assassin?
I think Hacker's still a little too new, though. I mean,
Yeah.
when I said the Armadillo from Karai's team, that's still a new one. So
Yeah.
I figure if anything, it's going to be 2, maybe 3 turtle sets before we see that or Hacker, or Hackar, however they want to say. I got to look that up actually if they have a pronunciation for that.
Oh, it started working.
But I think his name was Ace, the pilot.
Yeah, the duck. That was basically just Howard the Duck.
Yeah, except more badass. So,
Which hard to be more badass than Howard the Duck.
and yet he managed it with his whole flight suit and 6-pack and broad shoulders and
Yeah, and just general badassitude.
Test.
Oh, is that Patrick?
Hello?
We heard it, Patrick.
I think I heard of Patrick.
Hello?
I don't know what he sounds
Yep,
like.
there it is.
Hi. So there's Lenovo put out some update that's killed my camera.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
you.
So it keeps turning on and off.
That's all right.
So I'm
Drew's
just
gonna
gonna turn it
have
off.
a whole episode, and Pedro's.
We
have 2 of him now.
Pedros.
So
Got it. Where you see the resemblance? I don't know
My
how
favorite.
I did it.
It's fantastic. Okay, so
What
here
do you
here is
wanna-
one of those. I don't honestly know enough about it, but here is one of the. So okay, first for the actual Ninja Turtle related, because they're like based on the comics and the TV shows and more. So I would never want anything based off of the Michael Bay movies, but I would love to see in the common slot, not anything good, they could be trash, but I would love to see Clix based on those wonderful foam suits that the live action guys.
You wouldn't want to miss a fall
So-
name when
so
you
not-
eyes.
The original live action movies, just the foam suit.
I wanna
Vanilla
point
Ice
out-
Pod.
the Raphael for that needs Indomitable, because I don't know if you've seen this movie that you're making fun of. There is a 30-minute fight scene involving Raphael.
Yeah.
30 minutes of that dude fighting. There's Indomitable on that
In
clip.
the
the rubber suit.
This colossal stamina almost.
Okay, now here's my conspiracy one. These chases, the last 3 sets, there have been 4 figures as their chases. Now, we currently just got a brand new comic out with the Ninja Turtles.
I see where you're going with this. Say it. Say the words.
Jason's about to get his bike for Christmas. Take a look.
Based off of a continuation of a series that they did,
I gotta stop this.
Crossing
It's probably
over.
irritating people down below.
Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
Now, this is a dream kind of set thing, but we know that there'd be 4 chases. There's 4 Ghostbusters. Give us Ghostbusters chasing the
My
Ninja Turtle
god.
set.
I would.
Dear Nickelodeon, please buy Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Sign
We'll help
Jason.
you. Where do we have a Kickstarter, Patreon for buying Ghostbusters? Where do I sign in? Easy.
Attached to my wallet, probably
Yep.
just for decoration.
Wire money transfer. Let's go for it.
Will pay you what I was willing to give Pedro for a sandwich.
Or more.
I love that that's a joke that's making its way around the internet to only specific people, and it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite jokes around the internet right now.
It's gonna become a currency. A unit of currency.
All right, Patrick just joined in, and he's probably waiting desperately to get a question in, so let's let him.
Oh, a question? Oh God, no. Like
Would you like to
I
file a complaint, sir?
I can barely think HeroClix. I just left a kind of a warm up tournament because there's there's an open for in Laval tomorrow that half of us are going to.
Yeah.
And just absolutely got destroyed by one of those Unimind / Nighthawk Prime team / Carnage. I'm sure you've seen some permutation of it. Yeah, so my HeroClix brain is fried. I just saw the link and I was like, I'll go and listen. No questions.
Did you share the right link, Amber, or did you accidentally share the join in link?
No.
Okay. Oh, well, we have viewers, so.
Everybody.
Like, I can't wait to see something destroy those. Find some sort of combination that can destroy that, but it's very difficult.
Oh,
Like
I found it. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go get to the combination. It's really cool.
Is it burning it with fire?
I like J scene, which is, but you need a cord extension because it involves a blender. Yeah.
You need to change. So I found the tools to beat Unimind.
Okay. Your screen just went black, so I can't see.
Oh, it's a hammer.
It's a hammer. Okay.
I don't know. I feel like the
yeah.
best way to survive them is just to get hammered.
Working on that one as well. Let's see which one goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use both at the same time, though.
Yeah. Thumbs are important. Thumb lives matter.
Yeah, I was playing this fun team that had like an interesting combination with the KC Green Lantern sitting in the boxing rings. So his stats aren't modified, but obviously other people outside are modified by the boxing ring. And using the other Alan Scott to throw up a wall and kind of just be able to shoot on my turn, that kind of thing, which was fun against a bunch of other different teams, especially teams that needed to solely walk in because I was using the map with the pit in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Unimind was just like, all right, hypersonic, go in, go out. And it also gave itself the symbiote. So even when I tried to base it, it was like, doesn't matter. Gone. Yeah.
See ya. Yeah, it's
so
Coach Shelley Murphy.
I don't know if you're here for the first part of the episode, but we've had our conversations.
I was not.
How much of a pain in the butt the Unimind is, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a popular person around here right now. He's popular in the tournaments. It's just something we have to deal with.
Sure.
I'm really starting
it
to
makes
think
sense,
some of the Joker Lex ideas I've been considering.
Joker Lex?
Well, yeah, because the Joker Lex duo will work with the boxing ring because its stats can't be decreased. It's outwit proof. Right. It's able to mastermind now, which is basically unavoidable at this point.
Go until like next rotation.
So, what's that?
Yep. Right.
Interesting. Double attack. Get some henchmen goons. Gonna have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think Tiger Octopus was talking about the hammer. The hammer is not modern legal.
Oh.
We should make
no.
Well, wait.
Mjolnir is.
Hammers that are modern.
There is one. Yeah, there is one from.
Yeah.
There's two, right?
Deadpool.
Mjolnir, Thunderstrike, Stormbreaker. There's 3 hammers.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I felt really bad. Dan Smith. I don't know if you had.
Yarnguard's an axe.
Yarnguard. Oh, Yarnguard's an axe.
Yarn's an axe.
Yarn. Meow meow.
Do you guys know Dan Smith, who's a local player here?
Name sounds familiar.
He dropped his Mjolnir and broke it.
And nobody could pick it up because nobody was dignified enough.
Let's talk about my friend Mike White.
Yes.
and his mighty Thor with a case of leprosy.
No, what happened?
So we went to a battle royale at the Rock Cup. I just finished a 15-hour stream. This is like the first time I got a chance to play HeroClix that whole weekend. And we're playing in a battle royale, myself, Mike, Tom, and Jay. You can tell we were playing in a battle royale because you could hear us across the room. People were taking battle royales very seriously in that tournament because they're just looking at us like, you guys are having too much fun.
Okay.
Mike pulls out the Thor first in his pack with the Mjolnir, and his hand falls off immediately, like right out of the pack. So we're making jokes, his hand fell off. So first attack the Thor tries to make in the game against my Tyrannoid, nonetheless. Critical miss. The second attack by the Thor, also a critical miss. This time, its arm falls off.
Oh my god.
Wasn't it the other
I guess
arm?
it's kind of
No, it was the same arm.
It was the same arm.
The hand fell off on the first one, then the arm fell off the second time.
Oh my god.
So, but yeah, I hope he found the pieces at least.
He did. And he tried to glue it back together, and it fell apart again. So they're going to try one of those glues that is like it melts the plastic.
Yeah, the modeling glues. Those are really good.
Yeah.
I ended up discovering that the super glue I have right now does that, because in order to do that, it heats up.
Yep.
I didn't
really
realize that super glue would heat up.
Well, it's a chemical reaction with it causes.
Yeah, it's a chemical reaction that causes it to heat up. Once it hits plastic, it heats up. So I had actually, before the rock, I have an old backpack that I actually bought for like the first time we went up to Canadian Nationals in Ottawa. And my straps were falling off, so I sewed my straps back together. But I'm like, I want to make sure this really is, because I'm going on a flight and I'm scared of like anything going wrong. So I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that this backpack is really, really well put back together. So I ended up putting super glue in the seam that I just sewed, because it wasn't sitting the way I wanted it to. So I glued the seam and then held it, and I'm holding it and I'm like, why are my fingers hot? Oh my God, what is wrong?
Oh no.
That's how I learned that super glue heats up.
Oh, well, I mean, did it stay together at least?
Yeah, actually, it's really it's surprisingly well put together, because the backpack itself has like a plastic coating on the fabric, so like it's really well put together now. that seam is melted. It's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, actually, that might be a question. What do you guys use to, like, I'm sure we've all had Clix break and that kind of thing. Do you guys have like kind of a fix kit?
We have a bottle of glue that just basically fixes this all. I don't know where it is right now.
And we lose it every time we use it.
Yeah. It's just basically a modeling glue in it. I don't think there's been a single break it hasn't been able to fix. But what the most important thing is, after a figure is broken, it's officially made of glass. So once you fixed it, it becomes...
It lives in a plastic shell.
It ends up living in one of those plastic shells that the individual characters come in from, like the Undead set or a Countertop or Gravity Feed type sets. So... Yeah.
My first ever Clix ever broke. It was the Mira. I don't know if you remember the Mira from Blackest Night.
Yep.
That like has the red puke. So I opened the case and it immediately broke in my hand. Tried to get back together with super glue, and yeah, you're right. It just glass at that point. It just breaks over and over and over again.
Yeah. I find as well, back in the day, the most broken part of HeroClix in my early days of it used to be the flight stands, the top of it. It wasn't the flight stand itself that held together fairly well. It was this little piece of plastic that would always fall off on the other side of it, thus like no longer completing the hole or the circle that was on the top that you'd have to put the little peg in. That like little half of it always broke, and it always broke so gently. You're just like, because it's not fixable.
No, not at all fixable.
Like the only way I would ever fix it was I would take a common or one figure that I had way too many of. I would break off its plastic post and just replace the plastic post altogether. It's the only way I would ever fix it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've done with those pieces. I also actually I had an interesting Troll and Toad when I ordered the Legion set, the original Legion set. I had a Saturn girl that someone had the foot had broken off of, and so they glued the ankle to the flight stand. So it's just like a footless Saturn girl.
Yeah, we saw a few people that like they were just like, "F it, we're just gonna glue the person into the flight stand."
Mm.
Oh man. The Discord is currently full of HeroClix pop culture, let me tell you.
If I could play that song without this video getting removed, I would.
Yeah, that's somebody else's content.
Yeah.
There is HeroClix pop culture?
Well, okay, HeroClix showed up in an episode of Dexter once. Showed up in an episode of Big Bang Theory once.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's an episode of Dexter where he's like near a display case and there's just like HeroClix at eye level right there.
No, it's like in his apartment or so. It was like in someone's apartment and they're all out on a table.
Yeah. It's from. It looks like it's from season 1 because Dokes is in that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see by the people who survived or didn't.
Surprise!
Spoiler on a 10-year-old show.
And Nathaniel also posted a link to the episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway with Scott Porter on it, which definitely made its way around the world.
Click,
So,
click.
Click, click, yo.
Yes, I remember that one. What does he refer to as that? Was it superhero chess?
Yes.
Yeah, he tried to explain it to Wayne Brady. He's like, what? It's superhero chess.
Yeah.
They did the best with what they had, and I respect it.
When we were first starting out, a few months in, we had one of our viewers send me a link being like, hey, have you ever heard of this Scott Porter guy? You should watch this DC All Access episode. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. What is this? And it was an interview that DC All Access had done with Scott Porter where they went into one of his trailers on whatever show he was working on at the time. And he had a collection of HeroClix just sitting on display in his trailer. And he was going over like his favorite pieces. And he had like the Harley Ivy duo where she's sitting in a martini glass and like all the, like the cool looking sculpt ones. And we're like, what is this game? He's like, oh yeah, no, this is HeroClix, but you know, these sculpts are pretty cool and I play it because I'm a total nerd. I'm like, okay, I don't really know who this Scott Porter guy is, but that's pretty cool. Yay. Look, some Hollywood guy in his trailer's got HeroClix. And then like
this is our HeroClix celebrity, by the way.
And then like a year later he started doing unboxings for WizKid. So it's like, I wonder if they saw that.
Will Wheaton, a football player. How many voice actors play Magic the Gathering? Almost every streamer plays Magic the Gathering. Magic is almost at the level of poker when it comes to nerds. It's like everybody has at least played it, nerd-wise.
Apparently, Will Frettle plays HeroClix.
Ooh.
Way to go, Amber.
That doesn't help.
No, he's not. He was Eric Matthews in Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
See?
Ooh.
He has done like 20 years of voice acting since. But he's not obscure because everybody knows him from Boy Meets World. They just don't know what he's done since then.
What was he on Boy Meets World?
Eric Matthews. He was the older brother.
Like,
the older brother's a nerd.
Like Ben Savage's older brother, or the older brother of the other character?
Savage's older brother.
Okay.
He was the one that did the theme song.
We can always fool ourselves and say that these are the guys that admit they play HeroClix. Maybe many others do.
That's true.
And they just don't admit.
No, Vin Diesel could still be doing what he was doing for D&D for the longest time. It's like, oh, it's pop culture. Oh, they made a movie? Yeah, I played D&D. Yeah, whatever, Vin.
Well, it's like I recently saw this whole article pop up that oh god, what is his name now?
I don't know. I don't know half the actors that you happen to know the name of, but I'd drop a name like Morgan Freeman. You look at me like I'm drunk.
Your sobriety is a beside the point moment.
That was exactly what I was about to say. That
my sobriety is often called into question. I get you. Especially at Rocktober, let me tell you.
No, there's no question there. Your sobriety is like everyone else's, non-existent, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's more Joe Manganiello.
Yes. Anyway, I just didn't know how to say his last name.
The soon-to-be Deathstroke.
Yes, and a very recent article popped up where it was like, oh yeah, his wife totally admitted that he's into Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, and have you not been paying attention to the last like 10 years of geek culture?
You don't out geeks anymore. We're the norm, bro.
It's like, he makes a television show based on Dungeons and Dragons. This is not news, people.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, does he? What show is he on for that? Oh,
Geek and Sundry.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, if you're on like Twitch or YouTube, you're pretty much doing a TV show now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Twitch or YouTube, right? You're doing a TV show now.
No one said it was good. Jeez. Calm down, Jason. God.
I'm just saying.
All in due time. All in due time.
Amber's.
You're just fishing for how many times I can call you a prick tonight.
Oh, I can. Don't worry. I don't have to fish. That's like fishing with dynamite, Amber. All right.
Well, you probably have better ratings than most cable shows nowadays.
Fair.
Well played, sir. Well played. That's because they still use televisions for ratings.
Yes. I think the only people that watch television are the people I work with. I work with retirees.
I was gonna say my dad is still really big on watching TV. He's like, "Have you watched this show yet?" I watched the show, and I watched like these 10 shows, but I can't coordinate them because TV schedules. Like, oh my god, no!
No,
like,
you know
I
what?
haven't had cable in 10 years.
I take my TV in all at once. I can't stand commercials. I can't stand the week-long waits anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I tried for another 2 years. Like we gave two extra years of trying to keep up with TV once a week.
Mm-hmm. Gave up.
I'm better with the binge watch. Keeps my focus a little better. I get the continuity of the story. I'm not sitting at the edge of my seat. I can go a day with the oh my god, what's gonna happen next? But like having to wait a whole week, and then the next week happens to be Christmas, so I actually have to wait like a month.
Oh man, when we were in Atlanta, like the Sunday night, we basically just sat and watched TV in our buddy's room. It was the most like torturous thing to ever sit down and watch. Literally, like every 4 minutes, it was like 10 minutes of commercials. Like what is this? How do people watch this?
It didn't help that we were watching Storage Wars.
No.
Storage Wars. I was about to say.
Oh, this is when we were watching Gifted. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So Storage Wars. Cool. Because I travel a lot for work. I can guarantee you one thing: whenever I get to any hotel room on a Wednesday, that all day long A&E will be playing Storage Wars. Yes. They have a marathon every single Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I've seen all of Storage Wars. I don't have cable. I've seen all of Storage Wars.
I was actually just talking to a friend about this today, or when we stayed in that one night. Coming back home, we had a 6 o'clock flight, which meant we had to be at the airport at 4, which means we had to leave the hotel at 3. So me and Jason decided we just weren't gonna sleep the night before.
Our Sunday night room wasn't covered.
Yeah, so we were actually like crashing in a friend's room, so we didn't have beds to sleep on anyways. Yeah. So we stayed up and watched like 4 hours straight of Storage Wars. We actually watched so much of a marathon of Storage Wars. By the time that we were ready to go catch like our Uber, it had looped back to the episode that we had started on.
Yeah.
I hope that one day we like both worlds will collide, and you'll have like one of the guys from Storage Wars opening up a storage locker and finding a bunch of hero clicks.
I just want him to, that will be the one where it's like, because I watched one open up a box or a bunch of video games, and I'm like, I am never shopping at your store that you think you can get this price for these shitty Nintendo games.
And he was just like, oh, this is this very rare Nintendo game. That's $500. Like, dude, that was like 10
You're
cents.
making numbers up now. Anyway, but they'll look at the hero clicks like, I'll probably get like a nickel each for these. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll buy it.
Chase sets. Oh my god.
On the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we had a local player who got his car broken into, and they stole all the hero clicks. And I was like, I'm 100% sure that person who stole those is just like, what am I going to do with these? And just like trashed them, because they're like, other than the community, no one knows the value of these things.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like Magic cards where we know of a store that gets like that's had robberies and all that was stolen was Magic cards. Now, granted, the robbers didn't know what they were getting, so they got a couple boxes of commons, but still.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move around here, and I know Pedro said he had some ideas to move around the conversation.
Now, I was going to try ask if you guys think or were thinking about any particular, not new mechanics or funny things that you like to see in any of the new incoming sets, like maybe a a Star Trek team where you can spawn red shirts or any other crazy stuff that you can think of on the new sets. It would be fun.
I'm already picturing some form of move across the board called "Beam Me Up, Scotty," or "Beam Me Up" or something. I know "Beam Me Up, Scotty" isn't the actual phrase from the TV show. Before you nerds go down my throat, get out of my throat. Jeez. But something along the lines of the transporter, or you're like you suggested, send me down some extra troops, some extras, and the version happens to be generic ensign, and generic ensign happens to have a red shirt.
And if he doesn't, we'll just paint it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hope they don't break canon.
Well, what do you think the mechanic's going to be for the triples? Like kind of a Despotellis thing where you can.
You missed our speculation earlier. We got as far as
I have a treaty on that.
What we want from the tribbles.
We got Colossal Retaliation that gives action tokens. We got plasticity with poison. We've got stop clicks on the entire dial. The more and more you have, the bigger and bigger. Like we've talked about the stupidest stuff with the triples so far, and I want them to be exactly as dumb as they can be.
Because the trouble with tribbles is that they never run out.
Yeah.
See what he did there? Do you see what he did there?
Clever.
You did there, Drew.
Thank you.
I forget what makes them reproduce in the show. Like, why are there so many of them?
I want to say water, but that's gremlins. So
yeah,
We just do.
I'm gonna suggest existence. That's my guess.
So while Jason's looking up with tribbles, what I want to see actually in some like ridiculousness of I want a Captain Kirk where if
they eat and breed, so like just eating.
Okay.
You know what?
Wow.
Can
you imagine eating being like sex?
I was gonna say a reference, and then you know what? I'm the only person that would get that reference, so now I'm not gonna say it.
See, you don't know that until you try.
They're like parasprites.
I didn't say I'd get it. I just said you don't know until you try.
Parasprites?
Now we know.
Yeah.
And we'll have like one person in the comment section be like, I know what parasprites are.
I got it.
I just looked it up. My little
That's
pony.
cheating.
No, that's what the internet's for.
Cheating.
That's cat photos.
I want a mechanic where there's a version of Captain Kirk where all opposing females have like -2 to their attack while attacking him.
What was it? Paris Spirit?
Parasprites.
Paris Sprites?
Yeah. Like a parasite, but it's a sprite.
Oh, I'm thinking Paris.
It's a parasite, but it really likes Sprite, the soft drink. So
Well,
No, I thought she said Paris. I said,
No.
Paris, oui?
It's a parasite, but with wings.
Oh,
So
it's My
a
Little
sprite.
Pony thing. Okay, gotcha. Done. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Thank you very much.
Anyways, they multiply the same way.
Ugh. Oh, man.
Shut up, Daniel.
Whoa.
Only a little.
All right. Did we actually cover the? Oh yeah, no mechanics from Star Trek.
We just went deep into Star Trek.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It was just one.
It's just for Star, but that's fine.
Tricorders could be a cool thing too. Something tricorder gives perplex. like the Yellow Lantern.
it's what is it?
Give it a power action on your opponent's turn. They can use probability control. Boom.
Yep.
Or
you can pick.
If being used by
Go ahead,
anyone other than the captain, the opponent is minus perplexed, basically.
Yeah.
You can also get weapons to stun or to do damage. In cap alternative to weapons.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. That's a smart one. It's like
a double token in cap.
Set to stun. No,
Yeah,
set to stun or set to damage.
Okay.
I was thinking that you could do something. That's a mechanic I'd never seen in Clix. I mean, at least I had never seen that way. You could do like the Vulcan touch, where the attack goes against printed defense instead of considering defense power. It's a just in cap, but you attack against because you're just touching. You're not actually trying to damage. So just boom against printed defense. That would be cool and useful.
That is actually a pretty neat idea. Something along those lines.
That would actually be really awesome.
But it would have to be something not just like, because we've already got the super powerful version of that with Pulse Wave.
It would have to be a close attack.
Exactly. I'm just for in cap, so you're not giving.
Give an action token.
Exactly.
No, it has to give two. It has to give two.
That's true.
He knocked them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be worded in a way that you cannot abuse it with Mjolnir, though.
All right. Semper Clix has a question, then we're going to get to Mike on after that one. Welcome to the show, Mike, by the way. All right. He asks, do you all prefer sealed or constructed? I would like to think it would test true intellect for sealed. At that, 100% depends on the set. And that's how I have to answer that question. Is it does deeply depend on the set. The sets I've liked for sealed have been Nick Fury, Joker's Wild. What was another one? Thor wasn't a terrible set for. There wasn't really too many like bombs in Joker. As far as
Unimind.
But in sealed, Unimind isn't that bomby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a little bit more manageable. And like when I did pretty well using 2 commons and an uncommon in sealed and Thor. So Thor wasn't terrible.
I think about it, like you had Odin's Son that was still pretty good if you pulled, especially
X-Men was good. Avengers Defenders War was really good. Thank you, Nathaniel. That was an amazing set. Yeah, they've been doing really well for sealed lately. I'm just getting a little concerned for Harley Quinn right now because the chase slot is starting to look world's finest-ish.
Let me get my question book and just rip one out.
Well, speaking of sealed, Avengers Infinity, like what the hell are you going to do with like all these Colossals running around?
That's going to be the most amazing thing about the seal for that. Like, I'm sure they're already putting to the thought of giving them too much credit again. I'm sure they're considering what's going to happen as far as the idea of Colossals coming in every pack. We're all going to get 2 packs. These will probably be the weakest Colossals we've ever seen. Probably. That said, if it's all a bunch of 300-point Colossal games, okay, whatever. I'm using a Spider Buggy. F all y'all. Right? So, again, as long as the set doesn't have the I pull it and I win kind of issue that World's Finest had on a level, I prefer sealed as a tournament thing, but I don't think it should be a decider for who's the best at HeroClix, because HeroClix, unfortunately, as a game in sealed, where it differs from every other game I've played is that the game. There have been situations where, depending on the scale or size of the tournament can almost be decided upon pack opening. I've seen more of that occur than anything in HeroClix. But
as I'm sure your 5 wins in the 6 months of War of Light can attest to.
I mean, okay, yeah. Sorry, the 5 tournament wins. You mean I got? Yeah. Let's see, month 1, I pulled a Weaponer of Core. I won 4.
4. Sorry, 4 out of the 6.
Month 1, Weaponer. Month 2, Weaponer. Month 3, Sodom Yat. Month 4, I didn't win month 4, did I? No, it was month 4. Month 5, I played.
Month 5, you won because you beat me.
Yeah, and you had Sodom Yat, but I had a.
You had Brother Worf.
I had Brother Worf. I also had the the other brother, Brother Him, and the black hand. Yeah. Right. So. And
you only won because I pushed my battery too far.
Oh yeah, and I killed because I've murdered enough batteries to know when that thing died by that point.
Yeah.
Because in the first 5 months, I was personally responsible for 7 battery deaths. All 7 were mine. Still managed to eke out wins on those. It was pretty impressive. Anyway, so sealed overall is really cool, and I would love for it to be a more common format, more often used format, but price is prohibitive for this game for sealed, considering what you get when you do sealed. And the set really has to be able to be sealed playable. And I'm getting concerned with what we've seen in the chases for Harley Quinn. That it's just no. I'm not looking forward to what Harley Quinn is going to do.
Only because on top of the stuff that we have seen that is not the chases aren't really, oh, hey, look at this common character that can kill a chase.
There's bombs in the chases, there's bombs in the primes, and we haven't seen... The only thing that I could say are bombs in anything that isn't a chase or a prime is what figures are standing on.
Yeah.
So, and like, I don't want this to be defined by the guy who pulls Lex Luthor and wins for WKOs, but I still would prefer Lex Luthor wins over there. I might get top 8, okay, to, well, there's Unimind everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
true.
And I do enjoy that panic build, you know, what the heck did I get? What am I going to do with this? Okay. And sometimes you can come up with some really weird stuff with your sealed teams that you wouldn't normally think of in a tournament that would actually perform better in sealed than would perform in constructed, for sure. I say this as I've been watching the Magic Pro Tour this weekend. It started today. And I watched their sealed play, and their sealed play is nonsense. Let me tell you something.
I'll tell you what.
It's been nonsense, and I'm not going to get into Magic talk right now. We'll talk about it maybe off air for anybody in here who might be interested in it. But I saw some stuff that made no sense in sealed.
I've seen shit that'll turn you white.
And there goes our monetization.
All right.
Mike.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Alrighty, so since I just joined you a little bit late here tonight, can I talk about Unimind, or is that still
done?
No. Okay, well then.
How much money are you giving them? That is their question.
Yeah.
Go back and watch the episode.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, alright. I had enough time here at work, or enough time to work, and I got some questions down here for you. Let's see, which one should I start with? Okay, so is the trick to defeating Unimind when he's giving up his cosmic team ability, and so you can outwit him?
It's a tool. It's not just
like,
a dream trick.
It's something.
It's something. But it's certainly not the answer, because if he gives up that perplex and you can't get the outwit, for the love of God, do it. But it's probably because something went terribly wrong on his behalf. Some kind of critical miss, or just something untouchable. I'm gonna go check. Andrew, if you want to go jump on that, I think one of the cases woke up.
So on that, it really depends on what they took at the beginning of your turn as to how useful your outwit is going to be, and whether or not that came in at a time that you are able to do something about it. One of the things is that the Unimind on his own can stand pretty tall without even needing his perplexes, especially if he's being used as a call-in engine. If he's using those perplexes willy-nilly, maybe jump on it, but I mean, it all depends on what he chose, where he's getting, what power is really gonna affect you, because one of the common things right now is putting a symbiote on him. Okay, so now you have to get through shape change. But do you outwit the shape change, or do you outwit the invincible? Because he likely chose invincible at the beginning of your turn, because he can choose at the beginning, or probability control. So you usually have 2 to 3 powers that will keep you from coming at him. And if you're up against a smart enough player, he's timed it so that you're in a position where coming back at him probably isn't the easiest or best thing for you to be doing.
So, long story short, it's an opening, but the ability to capitalize on it is super limited by how much outwit you can use. Sometimes you just got to do the slow dent. Just tick away at what you can, and if he does open himself up to that kind of outwitting, just taking that poke while it's down could just be that spot that you need. Because after the first click I believe he has invincible, so he's probably choosing probability control. But if you're able to outwit the perplex, and perplex stats go away, and you can start digging away at the much lower defense that he has. And then the second click there has invulnerable. So he has to start using his picks to pick things like invincible, so he won't get choices like prob. But then, you're still 4 clicks away, 3 clicks away from the stop click, 4 clicks away from killing him. So get that green arrow out and hope for a critical hit.
Yeah.
Also, if you're playing up against something like Daniel's build, you're going to see a Unimind with not only the symbiote, but Supreme Intelligence, because that's something you can do right now, is putting a special object and resource on someone. Because that was a great change to the rules, WizKids.
Good oversight, guys. Good oversight.
So glad we got rid of that rule.
In WizKids' defense, I do believe they're looking at resources as though they're already gone.
Yeah.
Because come that 8 months away that we're talking about with regards to what's going to be rotated, resources are part of that rotation, because the last of the resources currently, not including the Punisher van, but nobody includes the Punisher van, is the
what?
The Punisher van.
No, I know.
Drew's doing a bit.
Yeah.
Drew's our peanut gallery for today.
Would be Kree Supreme Intelligence and the teleporter. Teleporter goes away with World's Finest, and the Kree Supreme Intelligence goes away with the same rotation that would have normally taken out Fast, but he just got taken out a little bit early. I'm really gonna miss him. Totally miss him, right, guys? Yeah. Long and short of it is, in WizKid's defense on that one, they already think resources are gone, and they're already thinking to Worlds. So
fair.
I'll give
but
them.
That also means in the meantime,
and that's the thing, they don't care about the in the meantime, because you know what? As far as they're concerned, Nighthawk Prime is gone.
Yeah.
And if they keep it up, Unimind's not dominating. Yeah. So that adds to the Green Man talk of the day. Thanks for opening that wound up again. I'm gonna go bandage it now. Hold on a second. I'm bandaging it right now.
Yeah. I thought I could deal with it with Drummer, because I was like, oh, I'll stop you from perplexing, and I'll outwit you too. And no, because then you've sent a 15-point pog to go and blades me.
Yeah. Or smash you with a heavy object.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing. That's a thing we needed. Mm-hmm. Monkeys. We needed flying super strength monkeys. That's what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
or hypersonic
I'm not against
knockbacky monkeys.
I don't know about you, but that's definitely what I needed in my life.
And I noticed Eric jumped in the room while we weren't looking. So let's give the floor to Eric.
Hi guys, 3-month supporter, first time hangouter. How's everyone doing?
As long as you don't have a question regarding Unimind, I'm in the best mood ever.
I actually do. I have a great question for you.
Oh God.
Considering Avengers Infinity, how do you guys feel about $16 boosters?
As promised, we get these double base figures. I accept it. Well, okay. What you have to understand, $16 booster is what we pay right now up here north of the border. $20 boosters for us. $40 sealed. it's going to be a nightmare for us as far as the price is concerned. But I accept it for a number of reasons. One of which is there's more plastic in the pack. Mm-hmm. I accept that plastic ain't free. It ain't cheap. Oil, or apparently, fuel isn't getting any cheaper. Oil prices aren't getting any cheaper. All this kind of stuff. And plastic is a byproduct of oil. Guess what? So, long story short, we get a big thing in there.
Spider buggy for me.
No, they're my spider buggies now.
No.
I have to accept the joke. I'm the one who made fun of it when I made fun of the idea of Marvel vehicles. Because I think it was around the Batman set where it's like, what would you do for Marvel vehicles? You can't do Marvel vehicles. What are you going to get? Like a Quinjet and the spider buggy?
The leapfrog.
Lo and behold, we got a Quinjet and a spider buggy after getting small things that were stretches at best. Captain America's bike, Thanos' throne, the shield space unit, whatever, Krang's time,
the sky cycle,
like
Krang's time toilet. That's what it was.
Yeah, I got 2 of those because Kang, but I mean, my own personal joke because I wanted to get the Council of Kangs together and it'd be a bunch of Kangs riding time. It was a terrible idea. I don't know why I did it. Nobody stopped me. That's probably what it was. What was the other vehicle that came out in that set? Something else.
Sky Cycle.
Probably the best one. Go fig.
I mean, Cap's motorcycle wasn't terrible. It was a good little bullet sponge.
Yeah, it was a neat way of transporting a Hulk to super strength somebody. Tom, you beautiful, beautiful man, you.
Leave it to Tom to find a way to get Hulk on the other side of the map.
The first time I saw him put the Hulk in this Captain America motorcycle, I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Hulk uses super strength. This is getting better.
Tom, can you do that? Who's stopping me? Good point.
Rules. Anyway, so again, it's the increase in plastic is what's causing the increase in price. But I also saw this occur with the D&D miniatures game, and let me tell you, I almost played the game when I saw people playing with those figures. And I think this is going to be the byproduct of this is when we as players play our release week sealed, people are going to see us playing this game because these big-ass things that are going to be in the packs are going to stick out like a sore thumb. I think I talked about this on the Metal Lab earlier this week. And people are going to see it. And not just the players. We're gonna be loving it because, oh my God, the giants on the board and the vehicles and the awesome. And we're finally going to be able to consider Colossals as part of our sealed environment, right? People are going to see these things in there. It's like, oh, what are they doing? And it's like throwing up a flare to the game. And I kind of like the idea. I think D&D at one point though took it too far, and they did like a Giants set and then a Dragons set, and then they kept going. I think WizKids has to gimmick this set once. Great, bring it back in a year.
Yeah.
Don't do this more than once a year. Because you will alienate the player base with $20 packs in Canada, $16 packs in the US. That's getting to pretty close to Warhammer levels. And it's already, I'm pretty sure, a hard job for WizKids to maintain the price point on this game. I mean, I do remember when $7.99 for 4 figures was what we were paying. We were paying. Now, and that's Canadian. Now we're at $15 a pack Canadian. Now, granted, our dollar is terrible right now, and that's a major factor in it. But, long story short, here we are. I'm really looking forward to the set regardless. The price point doesn't bother me because I feel like we're getting bang for our buck. But Amber, you made a couple faces like you actually have some input on this.
Well, actually, my big thing was what you were saying there is that this should not be something that happens every set or even every other set. This needs to be a once-a-year thing because exactly what you said. Everybody is already freaking out in the fact that a booster has gone up by $3. Not taking into the fact that we are going from a booster this big to a booster this big. Like, I know not everybody has access to the solicits, which makes sense because they're supposed to be for venues only. But even though we don't have the actual box art, we have the box mocks. And those mock-ups show the boosters as like double the size as they would be. So we're getting maybe not super booster size because that's the size of like 4 boosters, but we're getting bigger boxes. We already know we're getting bigger boxes, so that factors into, yeah, okay, $3 extra for a box that's double the size. That makes sense. And how else are you going to be fitting in these 2x2 figures that are going to be in every single pack? That's one thing that they've already said, that like, yeah, every single pack is going to get one of these. So regardless of what you're doing, you're getting a Colossal. Now this is a 2x2 base. That's the same size as all of our Colossal Retaliators. So if you think about how much a super booster goes on the market, I mean, I don't know for you guys, but for us, whenever a super booster goes out, it's about $30 for a super booster. So, I mean, it makes sense that something around that size packaged in with your regular figures is going to cost you a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I wanted to say was that when I was trying to go through my head as to what would we do for Marvel vehicles? Oh, what's really popular right now? Ooh, Infinity War space stuff. Could we get a Milano?
Ooh.
I didn't even think of the Milano. And as a generic Ace Bar toy ship.
Sure thing.
We could be getting spaceships. Freaking spaceships, guys. Spaceships.
Right.
I think Amber's excited.
Spaceships.
Yeah.
She wants a Marvel ship to take on those little puny Star Trek ships and just laugh.
That would be funny.
Because those stats are awful. Just be funny.
Those things are definitely meant to be played with each other and nowhere else.
Nowhere else.
They're barely meant to be played with each other.
Yeah, they're not well pointed out at all.
They're display pieces. I mean, we really just have
They
to...
do look pretty, though. Their freaking paint and models look amazing. I'm like, why can't my figures look this good?
Because they make too many of them.
It's actually a flat surface issue. I know when I was painting Warhammer stuff way back in the day, I used to play Warhammer 40K a lot, and there was an army that was released while I was working there called the Tau. And they were like flat surfaces on these. Like these figures were flat armors, very smooth, and that made them very easy to paint. Whereas when you get more crinkly, more muscly, more detail type stuff, like an orc or a space marine, there's a little bit more you have to do to it. The more flatter surfaces, etc., the better you can make something look. So those Star Trek ships, because of how much flat surface there is to paint, they're super easy to get the right colors into the right places and everything like that. So,
what's really funny about that, Jason, is that you're a Tau player back then, and what I know of Tau,
in my defense, I worked for the company. I had everything.
but what I know of Tau, I know that they're swarmy and rangy, like crazy sniper range in that game. So that sounds like something you would play.
My boss at Games Workshop taught me how to play shooty orcs once. It was quite good.
I see.
Shooty orcs.
Orcs are not known for their shooting in the game.
No.
Yeah.
Orcs are not known for shooting anything you put them in.
Exactly. And orcs in 40K are hilarious. Their entire story is the most hilarious thing in the world. They're grown from mushrooms, apparently. This is what the science in the game lore science has come up. They grow from mushrooms, and their weapons shouldn't work, so they believe that they're telekinetically enabled to just make things work.
Fair enough.
It's the most brilliant thing I've ever seen, ever. Like, because part of it too is they have a thing you can put on their vehicles. Red makes it go faster. You literally all you have to do is make sure you painted red on the vehicle, and it moves 1 inch faster.
What? That's a rule.
That's a rule. Yep.
That's a rule for orcs in Warhammer 40K because they believe red makes it go faster, and their telekinesis says, "Okay, I believe it. It happens."
I guess it's pretty fun for a game design.
They went pretty crazy with the story. Like sometimes if you can read deep into the lore of the Warhammer worlds, they go deep into that it wasn't until not too long ago they actually got game design on their mind again. for the longest time, they spent more time writing the stories than they did this game that they had. So, yeah. All right. Next up, I think it's back to Drew.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jason,
Yeah.
what's the next video game you're excited to see?
Well, yeah. Don't worry about it. She's bringing the phone down. You're good. Our daughter ninjaed her way down. I don't know if you guys saw her in the background. She was clear on the camera coming forward. I guess Amber wasn't paying attention. She kind of ninjaed her way back and just scared the crap out of Amber. Next video game I'm looking forward to is God of War. I'm really looking forward to how awesome it's going to be. It looks pretty, and I just like smashing square until everything dies. I'm not going to lie. I still have to get my way through a couple games. Like I'm way behind on video games right now. I was simultaneously playing Cuphead and Horizon Zero Dawn together.
Nice.
Unfortunately, Horizon Zero Dawn for me fell under the It's Not Zelda spell because Breath of the Wild took my Breath of the Wild away.
I lost Jason to Breath of the Wild. I didn't have a husband for like 4 months.
It's such a good game.
Yeah.
This is what happens when game designers don't say no, is Breath of the Wild. Crash Bandicoot I swear at every so often. I also have Bloodborne to swear at a little bit.
Have you
That's
touched
what I'm playing
Bloodborne since
I haven't
we
touched
fixed
Bloodborne since we got a new
controller?
controller. No, I didn't. I haven't touched it, to be honest, because I got Horizon Zero Dawn when we bought a new controller. So,
And one's less likely to make you break the controller.
It didn't captivate me enough. And then at one point, I recently bought WWE 2K18, and then I got distracted by that for like a day or two.
I made a character.
Nice.
I broke the uncanny valley on Amber making my own character. I was like, Amber, look what I did.
It was scary. It was scary. Like,
And,
the thing is,
and then I found out I couldn't use that character in career mode and got very angry at the game.
the thing is, Jason has a very generic face when it comes down to like me and a girlfriend of mine. Every time we get a new version of Sims, we make Jason because he's like the baseline human. If you can make Jason in a video game, you can make any person. Default video game person.
You should for the longest time, my profile picture was my Skyrim character, which was based on me, and somebody asked where I got that outfit.
So what we're hearing is Amber has trouble just figuring out different humans from Jason. From how just generic Jason is.
Well, here's the thing: if you take away my beard right now, the face you got, and the glasses, you basically get the face you start with when you get the character creator. So I am the base model for everything. You just got to thin it out to make yourself, or fatten it up to make yourself, or deform it, scar it, whatever.
Baseline human.
Baseline human. Sorry, but yeah, as far as what I'm looking forward to, God of War is definitely up there. And there's other things I'm just not going to get into it right now. Amber, what are you looking forward to?
The thing is, it's not so much what I'm looking forward to is that games that have already released that I want to play.
Oh, like what?
Because I want to get Prey.
Oh.
And I want to get RE7
Mm-hmm.
and Fractured Butthole.
It's so hard to say.
That game is amazing.
I enjoyed the Fractured Butthole very much.
We have to finish Stick of Truth, I think, each of us.
No, I finished Stick of Truth.
Okay, I got to finish Stick of Truth then.
Yeah, Jason.
I like zoomed through that game, but I have so many like unfinished. Problem I'm having right now is I have so many unfinished games that I'm sitting on, but only because a lot of them are games I cannot play in front of my children. So I have to like schedule my gaming time as to when I'm not around with the children. And usually that would be right now where the kids are actually in school for like the majority of the day. But then I started catching up on my TV shows. And then I watched shows over playing video games. And I haven't actually played a video game. Like, I don't even know what it wasn't. It wasn't Steam, but it was like something else that was connected to my Steam. And it was just like, you haven't played. Last time you played this game was 22 days ago. I'm like, has it really been that long since I touched a video game? And that was like a week ago. So now we're looking at like a full month since I've actually touched a video game.
The most video gaming I've done in the past couple of weeks has been like a half hour of Heroes of the Storm, and occasionally I play Hearthstone on the train on the way to and from work. And that's a very short commute, so it's like 1 or 2 hands of Hearthstone at best. I'm currently in the middle of some very busy stuff at work, and I don't really have the time to do the stuff that I want to do. So, but we're looking for what we're looking forward to.
The one game that I really just want more information on is the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, but you're watching that like a hawk.
It's happening.
You're officially like you're 2 seconds away from like peeping in the window of the office of Capcom to find out what's going on with that game. That's how much you're stressing out. You are overhyping yourself.
I am not stressing about it. I just want some. No, I am not the guy. I'm not the guy that I showed you that comment of where it's like, if we don't get a trailer by this convention next year, equal game canceled, confirmed.
It's so fun watching the public when they don't know how video game development works.
See, I'm the one sitting there being like, hey guys, it's only been about 2.5 years, and it's been long enough that they do have to make that game from scratch. They've also been working on these 5 other projects, so, we probably won't see it in 2 years, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, Pedro.
Oh, you nailed one, which I was about to ask on the sealed and the chases, but that's fine. So I real Clix related, dude. I have one. Conspiracy, Jason. I was just gonna joke and say, why are you talking Warhammer now that they are associated? Do you think that it's gonna stop at board games, or can it go deeper than that? And second, who's excited about vanilla World of Warcraft?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I watched BlizzCon. I'm more excited for the Overwatch stuff and the new Heroes of the Storm characters.
Nice.
The cinematic for the new expansion for World of Warcraft, though, my God, they gotta stop doing that, man. They're so bloody beautiful with their cinematics. Like a tear came to my eye. That one and the Reinhardt one were really cool.
They need to just start releasing movies.
Yeah, Blizzard.
They should do it for money because it's so amazing.
Just open up your own Pixar Light and make movies. But getting into what was the original question? Because I'm gonna get into Warhammer. Oh yeah. So a lot of people look at it as like, oh, Games Workshop and WizKids are getting along. Oh, this means that we're gonna see Warhammer in HeroClix. No, there's not a chance in hell that's gonna happen. Because having dealt with Games Workshop in a direct manner, I can tell you one thing and one thing alone. The pride that they take in their models and their miniature quality, there's no chance in hell they're going to let WizKids even so much as touch that level of detail that they want. They'll let them make card games. They'll let them make some kind of board game and focus on the miniatures themselves or something like that. But I do not in any way, shape, or form see anything Warhammer related making its way into HeroClix, and if it does, it's going to be in the most minor of manners. And Warhammer is going to be almost completely hands off, with the exception of accepting the models, which they'll never do. So I wouldn't count on it.
I wouldn't mind seeing a Hobby sprued HeroClix version or heroes at the Games Workshop level of quality game, though. Not HeroClix, but something crazy.
But then, if you think $20 a pack is expensive, wait for it. 10 figures in Warhammer is going to cost you. And they're not going to be pre-built, and they're not going to be pre-painted, and this is all the stuff we're trying to avoid by playing HeroClix. You want to get me to quit HeroClix? Make it into that. I don't mind people who do the modding and do the modeling themselves. That's cool. But I left Warhammer because of that part of it. I just didn't have the patience, didn't have the time. And honestly, I've got midgets running around my house that will probably eat half that stuff.
Great, I finished my team. If only it were modern now.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. It's like, all right, modern rotation just happened. I'm ready to have my teams illegal. Got to go buy more. Right. Never take another mortgage out on the house. Oh, we don't own a house because I've spent more than a down payment on a house on building an army. Fantastic. No, this is all never going to happen. in relation to WizKids. WizKids does pride itself on a certain number of things, and that is making miniatures. HeroClix itself is a miniatures game that is an approachable miniatures game. They started on the model of Mage Knight, which competed with Warhammer and lasted long enough for them to develop a reputation and maintain this HeroClix game. HeroClix is the game that has been keeping them going. So all of that is all of that leads to we're going to get board games in the Warhammer world. Cool. We're going to get card games in the Warhammer world. Cool. There'll be standalone projects, kind of. Basically, this is WizKids kind of doing what they've been doing, and they seem to be going head to head with Fantasy Flight lately. Brave, to say the least. Very brave.
What is Fantasy Flight?
It's a board game publisher.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a. Okay, Fantasy Flight. Yeah, it's one of the bigger board game developers.
Yeah.
Have you heard of X-Wing?
What's that? I'm kidding.
Okay. Yeah, X-Wing. They make that, and WizKids kind of went toe to toe with them with the Star Trek version with Attack Wing. I don't know if you've noticed, but Attack Wing is a little bit on decline, and X-Wing's on the rise. At least in the tournaments I've seen. Like, I've seen Attack Wing tournaments set up and 2 guys show up. I've seen, like, local level X-Wing tournaments and just make our nationals look like nonsense.
Now, Fantasy Flight is joining with Asmodee to go video games. So they're also expanding, but now in the video game arena.
Yeah. And Fantasy Flight for a while did have some Warhammer licenses. So WizKids is kind of swooping in. But I feel like Warhammer board games are not as profitable as they could be. And this I hope WizKids maintains cost, keeps an eye on this, because I don't know anybody who owns a non-specific like not Warhammer based game. I've never seen anybody that I know own anything like that, with the exception of maybe the Warhammer card game, and that was because a bunch of us in the store bought it and played it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but as far as time, and Semper Clix in the Discord just asked if we know what the time frame is. Don't know. Contract could be just develop a game, take X. There's no details as far as that is concerned that I've dug up, and I haven't looked for it. But for copyright laws in general, it's like 50 to 100 years or whatever. Whoever the company keeps renewing it or some stuff like that.
It's 30 plus 30 if you don't stop, and eventually becomes public dominion. But it's country by country as well.
Yeah, unless Disney gets a hold of it, in which case, forget it.
Yeah, eventually you all belong to Disney anyway. You got it. Yep.
Okay. All right. So we move now to Mike. I think that I might be out of order, but let me know if you.
Alrighty. Hey, do you guys remember a piece called The Goblin King?
Who?
Yeah. All right. So this is kind of like a two-parter question. Has any piece ever been unnerfed? And could unnerfing Goblin King make him a better challenger against Unimind?
They've never gone back on a watch list change so far.
They've double errated. Like they've never gone back on
they've errated and then errated again. They've never said maybe we did too much to a character. And honestly, I don't think the Goblin King would even would fix the problem. Goblin King was only slightly better than Jakeem Thunder in the fact that he couldn't be outwitted. He's just it would be so blown out of the water still by Unimind, even if they brought back sure, bring him back to his old glory, his thunderous glory, as it were. But I just don't think it's enough anymore to save the game from Unimind per se. And if they were to undo anything, just put some willpower back in there where it needs to go. You know what I mean?
Hashtag Indom.
Yeah. You know, if he's 175 points or less, he doesn't have power cosmic. He has indomitable. Or if he is 175 points, let him keep his power cosmic because it's not gonna save us from the green Slimer. I wish he could. I really do. Amber, do you have insight on that or?
Nope, that's pretty much where it is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've never gone back on an errata. They have reassessed characters, but only to further errata them. Yeah, at this point, like, even if they were to completely, like, not even just alter, but completely remove the errata on him and keep him as 4 powers a turn and power cosmic at 75 points, he's still not a counter to Unimind.
No.
So, I mean, we might see him show up a little bit more because that's a pretty beefy 75 points. But
if they unerrata him, he's
going to join up with Unimind.
He'll replace Nighthawk Prime as the Unimind's new best friend. I mean, Daniel Jones did it against me at Rock Cup, so and that was without the power cosmic. So if only there was a way.
If only I had a brain.
I got part of a brain. Just straight.
I don't know if I believe that, but okay.
Part of. That did not define how big a part.
I mean, the only one worse than you is probably Amber, and that's because she married you.
Yeah.
Well, you also missed
I love
the
you guys.
reference I was on my way to making, but that's okay. You're young. Eric!
Hello.
You're
Okay.
up.
So I have a cool one. Okay. So, who else thought it was pretty lame that all we got this year was colossal OP events and not really a cool storyline OP? Anyone?
Okay. Amber, you want to take a lead on this
That's
one?
it on that?
Well, hold on. Before you
Okay.
go on,
No, I was going to say, like, wait a
there is a
second.
question in this,
Sound
too.
like a question.
What would you guys want to see next year? I'm going to tell you what I want to see. If you guys want to fill off this, you can. I have not read the books, but I've seen the books on the shelves and the pages on Facebook and stuff. I would like to see a Secret Wars or Resurgence storyline OP kit. That would be just cool for a 4-month OP line booster set. That'd just be fun. But what about you guys? What would you guys like to see if it were to happen?
Take the lead, Amber.
I'm totally on board with the Secret Wars one, mostly because the big thing now, I ended up getting a Marvel Unlimited subscription and took like the first 2 months of that to read every single issue and tie-in piece of Secret Wars. So that being said, I think it would be a really good opportunity to do an entire set of unclicked characters. Now, this is characters that we've seen before, that we know the characters because we can get Captain America and Iron Man and Spider-Man and Wolverine, but we can get like versions of those characters that we have never seen before. So it wouldn't break from their theme of keeping with these popular characters, but it would just be all brand new versions of them.
Like a better What If almost.
Yeah.
Like stories about what could have happened.
What if that, the what if there should have been.
What if was good?
To be honest, the one thing that I would love to absolutely get out of that is the Nightcrawler Banff Demon is the coolest thing in the world. And if we could get that clixed, I would be chasing it forever, and it would stay on my shelf long after it was retired because it would be so pretty.
Jason, you have to dress up like a Banff demon. That's what you're learning.
Your world-winning piece.
It's a little too early for it to say right now, but it would be cool to sometime down the road get a storyline OP for Venomverse.
Yeah.
Buddy is a Venom. Everybody.
I feel there'd be some players who would hate that.
Lived until you have seen Rocket possessed by a symbiote.
No, what I'm more excited about on that note is the poisons.
Yes.
Because, like, you know they'd have to have some stuff based around, like, does this character have symbiote in its name or on its character cards at some point? Stuff like that.
Jason?
What's that?
Storyline OP kit set?
Okay. Can I just say Secret War is a great idea, but can I make it perfect?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So how many different provinces were there of the battle world? There's like multiple.
Oh, there's at least a dozen.
Okay, that's
yeah.
So let's half that. Let's go with 6. Okay. Now let's say there's 6 of those. So now I've made it a 6-month OP kit. I apologize, everybody, but I'm about to ruin this or make it better. I'm not sure. So each month is a brick, a special brick, but in each month is a specific portion of the set themed around each of, let's choose out of it 6 of the Battle World commanders, ultimately ending with Dr. Doom as the commander world, right? Now the prize for each month is that politician leader.
Baron,
there it is. There we go. With the exception of month 6, which will be Dr. Doom. Okay? And now, because each of them governs multiple different things, then that gives us multiple different things in each set. But then each month, like I was saying, is a different build-up until you get to month 6. Month 6, the bricks are actually made up of the previous 5 months. But not your sealed portions. It's a mixture in the final bricks. And I just made this a packaging nightmare that's never going to happen. Right? But this is
Man,
like,
Jason,
you get where I'm coming from. Is
this is such a good idea? It's a good thing it'll never happen.
It's never going to happen, so I'm allowed to dream and allowed to make up whatever the heck I want. But each month is a different portion of the set, culminating in a final month, month 6, where all of the sets are what, are all the sets are combined into one, and that is your seal based on that.
So all this complication to get a Doctor Doom cool piece. I'm in.
Look, okay, I will do anything for
Me too. I'm in. I said I'm in. I'm with you. I'm totally bought in. Count me in.
Also, Pedro, you're underestimating. It's not a Doctor Doom. It's a God Doom.
Exactly.
It is. You know what? Deep. I tried to win a Hero Clix tournament to try to get this made. I went as far as actually using Jakeem Thunder in the tournament.
Bum bum bum.
And so that's the level. I don't play the meta. Are you crazy? Me play the meta. You guys are out of your minds. I did it. I didn't win with it, but I tried. Because that's how bad I want to make my Doctor Doom. Because I don't know if way back, me and Tom were the only ones that showed up for the Meta Lab. So we did our "What would you make if you won Worlds" figures.
I watched that one.
Me too.
Everybody liked my Doctor Doom.
Yep,
it was good.
Yeah, you know who didn't like it though? WizKids.
Oh, I'm sure WizKids loves it. They still wouldn't let me make a Doctor Doom. So I also
sweet,
came
sweet
with the backup
license.
idea of making a Victor Von Doom in Iron Man's armor.
They did that, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, they made Tony Stark with Doctor Doom's cloak from the Exiles book.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Iron Doom.
Iron Doom.
Iron Doom. So I know these imposters. Anyway, long and short of it is, I think it would be cool if each month was a different pool of figures. It would increase the value of the packs or the figures that you get, right? Hey, Pedro's showing them off. It would increase the value of the figures that we got out of the pack, kind of like Civil War was hot at first. It would increase the variety in each month, where each month the different bricks that we're pulling from, it's a different set of figures. It's a different sealed every single month. And then you culminate, even the 6th month after we've gotten the 5 months of different sets is its own different experience because all 5 are combined into this final month.
Yeah.
It would also entice a lot of players who have multiple venues to go to multiple venues.
Yeah.
Or people just in general to find more venues. I mean, when you limit how much we can get in each thing, I'm more enticed to go out and get more. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The only thing I would ask for if they ever did a Secret Wars set, I would have to have the Captain and the Devil. That's the one thing I'd have to have.
Captain America riding Devil Dinosaur, of course.
Yeah. That would be just the coolest to me.
I mean, we already got our Groot Thor, so I think we're
on that trail.
Got that one out of the way.
That is also he was on a mission to rescue Bucky from Greenland, which is the land of the Hulks.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about the Devil Dinosaur and Hydra Boy or whatever.
All right. So we come back around to Drew.
What's a Canadian's favorite joke?
Sorry.
Our dollar.
Our dollar. Our dollar, your president.
Hey, whoa, that's not fair. One of those is real. And it's
you're
not
right.
the president.
You have a president.
I'll admit to certain things. This is one of them.
We don't have a dollar, though. We have a loony.
It's true. It's like, you're not wrong.
I believe that. I believe you're loony, Jason.
A lot of people believe I'm a loony. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see. All right. Onwards to Pedro, because Drew's apparently run out of questions.
No, I run as well. It's getting late for me, but I had loads of fun, so thank you guys.
All right. On to Mike.
Alrighty, so last one. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, just checking. Alrighty, the last one I had is that the other night I was playing around with the HC Realms, and I was wondering, in a Golden Age constructed, can I put a construct on a Colossal? Will the rules allow me to do that?
Construct from the Green Lantern battery? Or from one of the Lantern batteries?
Correct.
Yeah. That's fine, because that's a resource. Resources aren't kept away from Colossals yet.
Yeah, it's just specifically equipment. Like, not even special objects, but just specifically equipment. It says right in the equipment rules that non-standard characters aren't allowed to use them.
Okay.
So you're gravy, baby.
Cool. All right.
Yes. All right. Eric.
I am currently out of questions. I just have a closing statement, is all.
Oh. He's got a closing statement.
Yeah. The court finds him guilty. I don't care.
I am going to a WKO tomorrow morning, so I need to get some rest.
God help you.
I am playing Unimind. I'm a jerk.
No, you're using common sense. It's okay.
Yeah, you're a meta player.
I've practiced that team like 10 times, and I've won every game I've practiced with it. I feel really bad about winning and killing my teammates with them all the time, so I'm going to play him. But, yeah. Sorry, guys.
You know what?
I hate to be that guy.
Tell us how it goes.
He lies.
See, the court finds you guilty of using the green piece of crap. But
he's too good.
You show our sympathy because you had no other choice in the matter, and therefore you are sentenced to kill something important instead, because it will be less terrible.
I just say this: I am scared of other Nighthawk Primes because I'm not sure how to deal with them.
Oh, you don't have
Kill them.
No, I have one. I haven't been practicing against other people using them against me, so I've always had my perplexes. So I'm like, in a world where I don't, what do I do?
Well,
kill them
first, then you go hypersonic.
Hypersonic, kill him.
Creep up and hypersonic.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because that's one of those things. As soon as you're adjacent to him, which you would be with hypersonic, those stats are there.
Yep. Mine for the keeping.
Getting by that shape change.
Because that is one important thing to keep in mind with the Nighthawk Prime, is that he doesn't keep you from being able to activate Perplex.
Yep.
He just says you can't be modified unless you're adjacent to him. So go adjacent to him. Modify yourself. Oh, it has no effect. Go adjacent to him. Oh, look, it has an effect.
Surprise! Murder time.
I think Jason's like falling over all of his
We lost.
cans.
Oh, he's alive. That's okay. Great.
It's all good.
It's all good. All right.
It was on purpose.
So if everybody's out of questions, we'll see. Thank you to all of our patrons who've joined us today. We started low and we got very high in numbers. This is probably one of the most populated we had at one point. So thank you to all.
Easy there, Jason. Don't get high.
Hey, pretty soon it's gonna be legal in the entire country. So
There's a lot of things that are legal, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Night, guys.
Thank you guys very much. And I want to remind everybody, check us out at patreon.com/Clix. You can get access to this hangout once a month. You'll also get access to our patron Discord, which is where these guys usually spend most of our time trolling us.
It's really worth it.
It is. It's quite the enjoyable little group to talk to. And I'm sure by the end of this weekend, we'll be spoiling Thor Ragnarok. Just as a heads up, stay out of the movie chat. But you'll still get the pings anyway.
Yeah.
Mute the channel.
We'll probably actually do like a moratorium. You cannot spoil any of the movie until a certain date because there's WKOs throughout the month and they'll get in the way of some of us watching the movie. So, but we'll make rules for that. Anyway, so patreon.com/Clix. Check us out. You can get access to our Patron Hangout. You can get access to the Discord. You can get early access to videos at certain levels. You can get access to our patron action tokens, which we're going to be ordering this week to get sent out to all of those who are in the $10 or higher level. So look forward to that for those of you who are in that level. In the meantime, guys, thank you who are joining us. Thank you who are watching us. Have a wonderful evening, and good luck for all of you who are playing in a WKO this weekend.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.